Guys, good afternoon. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, one of the co-hosts from the DB Talk Show, and I'm coming at you live from Montclair State University, right outside of Sprague Library at the beautiful Starbucks Cafe. You actually are getting the window that's actually projecting the school communication, which is actually in front of me. So this is really a great background. And our topic is reinvention is always possible. This is a very challenging week for me and definitely needs some more reinvention. It seems like, sometimes you get these challenges, like right now with our professor. He's going so fast through the material, and in less than a month, Daniel, I have another final.
That's perfect, John. I love it. That's perfect. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, so need some energy, need some power, need some prayer to get this on. For those of you that are watching me on the TikTok, you may or may not know this. So I am Roman Catholic, and I do a show with Daniel Barnaby on the DB Talk Show, which we stream out on Facebook and lots of different platforms. And so, just giving gratitude to God and to our Lord, who I believe in. I don't know if you guys believe in that or not, but I'm giving gratitude. And every morning I get up, I give gratitude just to be alive. Today, there's been a lot of challenges in my life, to be honest with you. But in imitating Christ and just trying to, be here, I mean, sometimes it gets very daunting. And I just say, hey, God, hey, Lord, can you please just give me some extra strength because I'm not sure what to do, how to go, how to proceed, what kind of energy I need. And it gets a little challenging. Today, I was supposed to have three people join me for a study session. They all decided not to show up. They had more important things, Daniel.
Sometimes not
But
the fault. They don't prioritize studies. This is the fault.
yeah, I don't know. One guy messaged me back an hour ago. He says, "So what time is it?" I'm like, "Dude, I was here at 1 o'clock, and I said I'm doing a show at 7, and then I'll be free at 8." Oh, okay. I even sent you the time 4 days ago. Oh, my bad.
That's priority. It's not
I,
because whenever you put first, that's your priority.
I don't understand why school is not your priority. I don't get it. You're spending a lot of money to come here, thousands of dollars. And why do you not make it a priority? To me, I make it a big priority. My business is always important, but I make this like second. This is like a very important priority for me to be here. Uh, in fact, I had told you one part of me is on the fence about possibly moving to college uh, next semester, but I don't know if that's the smartest thing. As much as I want to do that, I think it might be hard with all the stuff I do, but I'm still on campus, Daniel, a lot. I mean, I'm on campus every couple days. Tomorrow, I'm on
That's
campus in
good.
the
That's
afternoon,
good.
but it is challenging. It's challenging because, like I said, right now, I was when I saw the chapters. I mean, the sections. These sections, Daniel, are like chapters. One chapter has 14 of those chapters in it.
Wow.
That's a lot of information.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So I've made up flashcards and done different things. And I keep telling myself, John, you've got time. The exam's not for another month. Somehow you gotta find more time in your schedule and devote it to this. And that's what I'm doing. So Wednesday I'm coming here and I'm gonna spend pretty much from about 10 o'clock in the morning to the rest of my day just at the
Wow.
library.
It's a busy
I, I,
day.
I'm very motivated at this, Daniel, and I'll tell you, it frustrates me when I'm a little bit behind. So right now I'm up to section through. I'm almost up to the fourth section, which is where I'm at, but I'm supposed to be up to the eighth section because that's where the last class went. And
Yeah.
then after this next class, we should be at 12 sections. So it's a lot of information. Just praying that I will get the mercy and the grace to be able to soak this in. I even listen to certain music, Daniel, music that's actually designed to stimulate pathways in your brain
Hmm.
because it becomes very it becomes overwhelming. I have to
Okay.
tell you that. It becomes very overwhelming. This is why I love these study breaks they do, but tonight they don't have any study breaks.
Mhm. John, I have a
So
question for you. What the topic you have for our listeners tonight?
so our listener, the thing I want to talk about is, it's reinvention is always possible.
Um,
It's always possible.
let's talk about that so the listeners can be aware. What does that mean with reinvention?
Well, I think we could tie it into Christ and we could tie it into humility about that. But
Hmm.
I think what we can first say is that, you know, people think that what you did yesterday means if you were a sinner that you cannot repent. And so reinventing means that you can become better. Reinventing ourselves with our faith, but reinventing how we do things. There was a guy on social media a couple days ago. The only thing I didn't like is he was cursing people out. That's not my style. He was cursing people out about you should do blah blah blah, and I'm like just watching, but that made me turn it off. And he said something very interesting though. Beside the curse words, he said something that if your content is not bringing you thousands of people, don't blame the platform. It's not the platform, it's you, it's your content. So that resonated with me a little bit. And I said, well, how do I make, because my content, is great, but how do I make content that's going to inspire to more people? What do I do? And so I said, I've got to find things. What people like about me is they like to see that, I have them in my back pocket and they can see what I'm doing. And so that's interesting. But I said to myself, how can I step this up more? What can I do to step this up so more people will want to watch? I even asked people on the different platforms, what is it that that I should be doing? Um, and you know what? They can't tell me. So when we think about reinventing doesn't mean we have to start from scratch. Okay. If we reinvent ourselves so we can have a better faith, we don't have to throw out the whole bathtub. We can just start and tweak what it is that's not working or that's separating us from God or that's separating us from where we want to be in life or our success. Like today, the fact that I'm at almost chapter section 4, I'm like, well, how do I need to reinvent myself so that I can feel okay? Because right now I feel completely overwhelmed. I don't think I felt this overwhelmed since when I started school a few months ago. I feel even more overwhelmed than I felt when I started. So I think it's because the semester's almost over. I have an A average right now, so that's a little more pressure on me. You know what I mean? And so when we think about reinventing, I guess what I want to refer back to is something pretty interesting, and that is Merriam Webster. You guys all know Merriam Webster. So, Merriam Webster, if we were to refer to Merriam Webster and look up the word reinventing, what we would find is something pretty cool. We would find the definition of reinvent, which is a verb. So, reinvent, according to Merriam Webster, which I give credit to, and I thank them for their great definitions and thesaurus, etc. It's to make as if for the first time something already invented, to remake or redo completely, to bring into use again. But I want to change definition two around. Um, you don't necessarily have to redo it completely. You just have to trim away the fat or trim away what's not working and then go from there. So this large content creator had made an example that he starts different channels and proves to people that he can actually get from point A to point B, right? Very, very easily. But the thing is, I don't know if it was because of his cursing, which I hope it wasn't. He proved that he could build another platform, another channel to another 20,000 or 50,000 subscribers in just a day or two. Um, I don't think it's so much that he went to another channel. I think it's because the platform knows it's him. And I think the platform is pushing him out because it knows the kind of content he produces. And so I just try to think every day, Daniel, how can I be a better reinventor? And I think when we think about the concept of reinventing, It's a lot. I think the first thing we have to embrace is the fact that we have to embrace change and be open to new opportunities. Growth comes from being adaptable. We have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's not an easy thing. But the more you do it, the better you get. Failure is just a step toward reinvention. It's not failure. Mindset shapes transformation. And so our mind has the power to evolve to an entirely different level. But you see, most people get stuck in their shoes. They get stuck in where they are. They get stuck under the blanket. They get stuck in where they are right now. And they don't even understand the fact that they can reinvent themselves as many times as they want. Small shifts lead to big breakthroughs. Reinvention, Daniel, starts with one thing. Do you know what it starts with? It starts with one thing. What do you think that one thing is, Daniel?
Go ahead,
Is
Jen. Go
one
ahead.
what do you think the one thing that it starts with? It starts with one thing.
I
It
don't know.
starts with
I don't know.
it starts with belief. We have to believe that we can reinvent ourselves. Challenges will always spark new innovation. Letting go of the past will always fuel our progress. When we have a lesson to learn, we have to remember that the lesson is to learn from that, but not to take all the other baggage about how we feel. When we disassociate ourselves with things we don't identify with, it doesn't have a controlling factor on us. And I think that's a big important thing. Letting go of the past will fuel progress. Reinvention is not something we just do tonight, Daniel, and everyone watching. Reinvention is something we do as a lifelong journey. We keep doing it all the time. And so, if we understand that reinvention is a lifelong journey, then we can really embrace the fact that we need to keep launching this. We have to keep on this journey. Success is not a start and a beginning. Success is about a constant journey, a constant, let's say, tweaking. Many of you out there have a GPS system or you have a phone with Waze or something else, right? And maybe you set the path. Maybe you're setting the path to get to a new church. Maybe you're in a different town or a different state and you're trying to get to church or wherever you're going. And for whatever reason, you keep making wrong turns. Well, the GPS keeps course correcting you. The process of getting you to the church is an ongoing thing. And it might seem like it ends when you get to church, but the process of success and the process of our faith is not defined by one moment. It is instead told by our belief and the actions that we take, which actually shape our character. We're always going to get dealt cards, okay? They could be good cards, they could be mediocre cards, they could be bad cards. It really doesn't matter. It's just how do we choose to respond to those cards that will affect how we show up, how successful we are. You see, most people think success and failure are opposites. Did you know that success and failure are not opposites? They're not. A lot of people would disagree with me, but the truth of the matter is success and failure are not opposites. Let me say that again. Success and failure are not opposites. And if we can embrace the concept of that, I think we might understand more of what I'm trying to highlight here. But success and failure are not opposites. Okay, then if they're not opposites, what are they? Like, what are they? They're part of the same journey. They're complementary forces that shape our growth, our learning, and of course, help us build our resilience. Failure is not the end of success, but it is a stepping stone, just like the course correction that we get when we're on a GPS system, right? If we made a wrong turn, we can always get back into there. For those of you who are asking to battle me right now, so I can't battle you at the moment because I am doing another live, and so I'll be happy to battle you later. For those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, I'm dual streaming, actually on TikTok as well. And sometimes people want to battle me, which is where they try to see who has the most votes from both being on screen at the same time. But I can't do that when I do two streams. It's not something I can interact with. So failure is not the end of success, but a stepping stone toward it. And when we think about trying to get to a destination in our car, the GPS is not done until we've gotten to our desired destination. Now, one, we could either A, get there properly, B, we could get course redirected, C, we could get there, but then maybe the destination doesn't exist. Maybe we're going to a restaurant and that restaurant closed 6 months ago, right? So our life is like a GPS system, but we keep putting in new destinations every single day, not just once. We keep putting these destinations in every single day. And I think this is important to understand. Failure is not the end of success, but a stepping stone, as I said, toward it. Each setback provides valuable lessons, refining the strategies and building perseverance. Success, in turn, is a culmination of repeat attempts, adjustments, and resilience in the face of failure. Just like in the car, you made a wrong turn, you're supposed to go right and you go left. What does it do? Recalculating. At the next stop sign, make your first right. Or in 500 feet, please make a legal U turn if possible, right? So I like to think about our lives and success, and we try and get back to religion in the gift of the Holy Spirit, which we talked about last week on your show, Daniel. And so the Holy Spirit is what gives us our encouragement to move forward. In essence, success and failure are two sides of the same coin. See, they're both necessary for progress. Okay, they are both necessary for progress. But we have to understand that we have to make progress and get self improvement. I think that's an important thing. So when we think about, we think about success, we think about reinvention. You could have, I don't know, been working for a company and you're not getting any clients. Well, there's a reason why you're not getting any clients. It's because you're being insane. Let me explain what I mean. Einstein said many, many years ago, if we do the same thing over and over again and we expect different results, do you know what that is? That's insanity. So if you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you expect different results, you don't change one thing, you're enacting out insanity. So what we have to do is reinvent ourselves. So you might be asking me, John, how do we reinvent ourselves for success? Uh, that's not a one-word answer. I'm sure you knew that. Um, if we ask that question to ourselves, first thing is self-reflection and a mindset. We have to identify what success means to you, to us, to each and every one of us. We have to recognize our limiting beliefs and replace them with a growth mindset. I've talked about this millions of times. Accept failure as part of the learning process and just something that will help get us to the next level. We have to learn and upgrade our own skills. We want to stay curious and continuously educate ourselves, seek mentors, and learn from those ahead of you, adapt to industry trends and emerging opportunities. I had a friend one time, and the person was always nervous about something, right? And so I kind of reconditioned them in a way because they wanted to do this thing. And I said, "You're not nervous, you're just excited." And I kept feeding that back to the brain. You're not nervous, you're just excited. You're not nervous, you're just excited. You're not nervous. And I gave it back to them. They're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just excited." And it rewrote what was in the mind about being nervous. Okay. We have to be curious our whole lives. If we're not curious, we're going to get bored. Okay. We've got to also take bold action in our life, set clear, achievable goals, and break them into small steps. Step outside your comfort zone and embrace challenges. You've heard me say this many, many times. So if the firework doesn't go off, right, the first time the way you want, you've got to reinvent how. Maybe it's how you're showing up. Maybe myself, social media. Like I'm just starting to get more fluent with TikTok and what people want, and I'm learning. I've been great at content creation. I've been great at being a video producer, but creating content on TikTok is different than creating it on Facebook. It's different than creating it as a live stream. So I'm having to adapt to that a little bit, which I don't mind, but it's a fun journey. You also have to remember to set clear, achievable goals or promises and break them into small milestones. Step outside that comfort zone, embrace those challenges, develop resilience, keep going, even when things get tough. A wise person many years said to me, John, you know, tough times never last. Tough people always will. Let me say that again. Tough times never last. Tough people always will. Right? Just like in a roller coaster, we go up and we go down. But if we start to embrace what that means and the fact that we know we're going to go up, we're never going to ground, and we prepare for it, it's like it's part of this ebb and flow. And now we're not so surprised, and we can do things to actually grow from that. So, reinvention isn't about becoming someone else, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. Um, what's an area you want to reinvent right now? Is it your education? Is it your financial net worth? Is it your spirituality with God or the Lord? Is it maybe your ability to communicate? Is it your ability to be a good writer? Right? And there's lots of them. And so I think most people get discouraged, Daniel, and everyone else watching, because they don't get to that destination right away, right? There is a major hotel that's going to be demolished coming up soon, and I want to capture it. But the thing about this hotel being demolished is they're closing all the main arteries to this hotel. So I'm wondering, how am I ever going to get close to this hotel if they're closing all the arteries, the main highways by it? So I'm trying to figure that out. I have quite a few weeks before that's going to happen, but I know that's going to be pretty interesting. You know what I'm going to record it with? My brand new Ray-Ban stories, which I can't wait to share with everyone. So redefining your identity and your purpose is not something you're going to do in 5 minutes. Ask yourself this question: who do I want to become? Align your actions with your values and your long term vision. Craft a personal mission statement to guide those decisions and allow you to flow into it. Learn to master your mindset. Eliminate self doubt by replacing negative self talk with empowering beliefs. Practicing gratitude to shift focus from a lack to abundance. Adopting a fail forward mentality. Every setback is only one stepping stone. Okay. And that stepping stone will help you get to many, many places. But we have to embrace where we are right now, like where I am in my section. I'm stuck on a stepping stone. So one of the things I like to do is take a break from it and then come back to it. And once I got that next stepping stone and I've gone over the hurdle, I've understood it, then I can move forward. All right. Adopt a fail forward mentality. Every setback is a stepping stone. Set audacious goals and execute relentlessly. Don't fear that it's too big of a goal. Dream big and break it into actionable micro goals. You've heard of the 10x rule, right? Put 10 times the effort for 10 times the results. Track your progress, stay accountable, and celebrate those small wins. learn, unlearn, and relearn. Read books, watch streams and podcasts like mine, and consume high value content daily. You have to feed your mind with high quality information, high quality food for the brain. I'm not talking about food you eat, I'm talking about the food in another proverbial sense that we give our body, our brain, that we respond to, the language, what we tell ourselves. Learning from mentors, coaches like myself, and successful individuals in your field is another great way. Challenge those outdated beliefs. Stay adaptable to new ideas and opportunities. When you do this, you might make a few friends along the way, but guess what? You're going to 10x your confidence. I had a lady the other day who was working to try to get a job. And I gave her all these ideas, writing a resume, did all this stuff for her. And every time I brought her somewhere, she kept saying, "Oh, well, it's not going to work." I'm like, "Of course it's not going to work. You just said it's not going to work." You see, your mindset has already set the universe up for the fact that it's not going to happen. As soon as you say to yourself, it's not going to happen, you've already said you don't want it. I don't care if you're creating a multi-billion-dollar business, a multi-billion-dollar house, or you're just trying to create an amazing relationship. As soon as you change the thought in your mind, okay, and say, that's not possible, it also means I don't want it. Develop unshakable discipline. Unshakable discipline and daily habits that will get you to where you want to be. That's a very big one, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do that. If you don't do that, you know what's going to happen? You are going to be very unhappy. Okay. Create powerful morning routines that set the tone for success. What do I do every day? I write out what I'm going to achieve that day. And they're all just written out, very simple. And then as I achieve them, I cross them off. Create AM social media, create PM social media reels, crossed off, crossed off. Prepare pre-show for inspiration for your life, crossed off. Stream IFYL show, crossed off. Create the social media and post afterwards for the show, crossed off. Leave for school at this time, crossed off. So when that happens, you know what it causes? A stronger resilience, a stronger sense of confidence that I have now been able to harness. Implement the 80-20 rule, right? Focus on the fact that 20% of what you do will bring 80% of the results. 20%. Replace distractions with deep, focused work sessions. This is key. Okay, don't let other people around you tell you that it's not possible. Just because they don't want to realign their lives doesn't mean that you need to follow them. Number 6, rebrand yourself and build the influence that you know you have and you will continue to grow with. Improve your personal brand. That's LinkedIn, website, social media. Share valuable insights, content, expertise in your field. Expand your network. Surround yourself with ambitious, inspiring people. I told that lady who had a challenge, I said, you need to change your attitude. You need to see yourself as getting the job. You need to be positive already. Okay, throw out the disbelief. Take calculated risks. I'm not telling you to jump off a pier or jump off a bridge, but take calculated risks. Pivot when needed. Grow happens only when you get outside your comfort zone. You will never be successful unless you practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Let me say that again. You will never be successful unless you get comfortable being uncomfortable. So take off your jacket, whatever you have to do, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's going to be a little bit discomforting. Hey, I'm outside and it's like 50 some degrees, but it's uncomfortable. But hey, this is working for me. Take smart, calculated risks and align with those goals and those promises. Be willing to pivot when something isn't working. Optimize health, energy, and well being. Prioritize sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Maintain peak performance. Practice meditation, mindfulness, and stress management techniques. Take regular breaks and recharge and prevent burnout. Create systems for sustainable success, whether that's automated, whether it's manual systems, journaling, planners, digital productivity apps, even the little hack I gave you about writing things down. That really works, guys. And the other thing I do too is I do 10 I do 10 rosaries a day. Okay, I should say 10 one full rosary, so 10, 10 sets of the Hail Marys and the other respective prayers. And the other thing I do too is I say 3 sets of affirmations. So after every prayer, I say this first set, and then I say actually a second set, but I say them each 3 times. It's 2 sets, sorry. And that helps fuel me to getting more confidence and doing some amazing stuff. Number 10, the last point I'm going to share with you: give back, create an impact. Teach, mentor, help others grow, reinforce, own your learning, contribute to causes bigger than you are. Build a legacy that goes beyond your personal success. And my final thought for the evening is success is an ongoing reinvention. Success is not a destination, it's who you become along the way. Every level of growth requires a new version of yourself. So get ready. You've got to keep changing, you got to keep reinventing if you want to keep raising your bar. If you're at 5 right now, well, you're going to have to change to become a 10. You want to become a 15, you're going to have to change. You want to be a 20, you got to change. You want to be a 50, you got to change. You want a 100, you got to change. You want 1,000, you got to change. Same thing happens in life when you want to make more money. You've got to change the bar. You got to change the way you're doing things, because what you did isn't going to work within that same amount of time, right? You got to orchestrate different systems. So the last thought is this. Final thought is success is an ongoing reinvention. Success isn't a destination. It's who you become along the way. Every level of growth requires a new version of yourself and new skills to be learned. Keep evolving, stay hungry, and embrace the process. Remember, you don't get to becoming a millionaire until you first can start making your first dollar. And I want to ask you a question. Which of these areas do you want to reinvent in your life?
And I want to thank you for your topic tonight about when invention is always possible. And I believe every listeners that have been listening, thank you so much for your time. And then next time we're going to have another topic, imitating credibility. And then it's the next topic for Sunday. Thank you, John, for your time. Every
Thank you very
listeners,
much.
have a great night, good week. Bye
You
bye.
too. God bless you. God bless you. Take care. Be well.